So for today, within the next 1 hour, we'll cover one, why NUTM? Why is it important? Why am I even doing this? Now, I wasn't paid by the NUTM management to do this. I'm doing this on my own accord. So, and I'm doing it because I feel like if you don't share this information, a lot of you won't even know what is existing in Nigeria currently, that there is something like this existing. A lot of you might not know. And in this day and age, information is gold. So I feel like we need to share this so that a whole lot more of people can apply this year compared to last year. And that way we increase the chances of people to get in. Some people have the profile, the wherewithal to get in, but they don't even know that something like this exists. So that is why we're bringing this forth so that you'll be informed and then you can go ahead to apply and benefit from all of this, these beautiful things that I'm actually benefiting right now. So first, why NUTM? What is special about the program? Secondly, I'll give you a walk through the NSP application process. And then I would also give tips on how to answer the essay questions. There are about 3 of them. And afterwards, we just delve straight into question and answer series. So quickly, why NUTM? Just a moment. Okay, now, why NUTM? So NUTM stands for Nigerian University of Technology and Management. It's a non-conventional university established by a group of successful professionals, former federal ministers in Nigeria, top CEOs in Africa, and renowned academics from world-class universities. Now, to tell you the truth, it was when I saw the management board of NUTM, that was when I told myself, what is this exactly? What are these guys trying to build? I want to be part of it. Because when I saw the array of excellent individuals behind this school, I was so interested. That's what attracted me. And so I can tell you for a fact that these people are not here to play. They're not here to play. They know exactly what they're trying to build, and they're taking their time to build it. And so I told myself, I want to be part of the process, and that is why I'm here. Now, the NUTM is a university, but they are not running degree programs yet. They decided to have a flagship program called the NSP, which is the NUTM Scholars Programme. So what is this about? It's like a professional fellowship that is aimed at developing future leaders and change makers in technology and entrepreneurship. So this is what the focus is for now. In a couple of years' time, perhaps by 2024, they would begin to do other programs like masters and then go ahead to do bachelors. And at that time, they will have their own full-blown institution to do this. This started in 2020, so they are still in their 2nd to their 3rd year now. And so this is just a flagship program to kick off. Within the next 2 to 3 years, everything will become a full-blown university kind of program that they will begin to run. So for now, it's the NSP, and it's more like a professional fellowship to develop your leadership skills, your soft skills, technical skills, even your business skills as well. So the goal is to create the MIT of Africa here in Africa for Africa. And what that implies is that this becomes a hub for talents, for innovative ideas that will drive the continent to its intended and expected future. So quickly, I also want to talk about certain features associated with the NSP that would probably make you want to submit your application fast. So I will tell you some things that I have enjoyed. Number one, industry and business relevant courses. So unlike your conventional schools, well, they are locked now, so you are sat at home, sadly. But unlike conventional schools that we have here in Africa, these guys are looking at very specific workplace skills and entrepreneurial skills as well. In fact, I will tell you that some of the courses are MBA courses. I know this because I have the intention of doing an MBA. So I've gone to check the curriculum of some schools offering MBA, and I discovered that all the courses, most of the courses that we do here are basically courses that are even on standard MBA programs. So that's a plus here. You do courses like business strategy, data analytics. For the data analytics, you'll be doing courses like it covers courses like Python, R, Microsoft Power BI, SQL, and so on. Then you have AI, machine learning, you have design thinking. This will help you know how to build a product for customers, tailored fit for the users. Science and Tech for Africa's development. This will help you rethink the way you develop solutions for Africa. You just don't adopt solutions from the West. You start thinking about indigenous, locally sourced solutions that will meet our need. You have product management as well. So it's a fantastic set of courses. There are about 24 of them that you're going to do in 10 months. Another feature here is world-class faculty. The lecturers who take us are amazing, world-class in the real sense of that word. They are from Ivy League universities and top universities in the world like Harvard, Princeton, WPI, UPenn, Oxford, and not just that, we even got some of them from the corporate world. So we have a lecturer who taught us business strategy. He's the CEO and founder of TLCom Capital. Just imagine being taught by a captain of industry. And then the data analytics course was taught by the head of IT at PwC. Imagine having access to such raw information from the industry. And lastly, the lady who taught us product management was once the head of product at Google. So you see that we have access to, world-class faculty that you'd never get in conventional schools here. Another feature I want you to think about is experiential learning. What does that mean? It's not just a lecturer coming to class and dictating notes or just talking about concepts or concepts and they expect you to think about them, but you can't see, you don't understand, you can't even feel it. It's just a concept, it's just an abstract thought in your head. But that's not the approach here. The approach here is hands-on, practical, case studies, simulations, most especially. You are going to live through the experience and that will make you understand the concept better than just a lecturer. Now, by the way, I am a lecturer in a university here in Nigeria, so I know what I'm talking about. That is quite different, you know. And when I'm done from here, going back to the university, I can assure you that my approach to teaching is going to change. I'm going to ensure that I infuse experiential methods, in my teaching techniques, definitely, because I felt it and I know it works. It works so well that people just, like the candidates who sit in class will just sink in or soak in the concepts and then it becomes real. It doesn't look like something just abstract and far away. So experiential learning is just the standard of learning, I would say. The fourth feature here is living and learning condition. I had to put this in because I need you to understand certain things that we enjoy here. First is that the accommodation that you stay This is one, I'm speaking from one of the accommodations here. It's furnished, there's constant power supply, constant internet, which is exactly what I'm using to speak to you now for free. Power is, you know how power is in this part of the world. You know, it's not the way it is once you come on the NUTM campus. It never goes off. Your internet, stable, is reliable. And then 3 square meals daily. You don't have to think about food. So that means they want you to come here and just focus on learning. They've dealt with all the troubles and concerns that you likely have as a student. There's also provision of laptops. Can you imagine? If you come around and you don't have a laptop, they're going to give you one. If your laptop is damaged, they'll give you one. That's what happened to me 2 months ago. I had the laptop, but something went wrong and I got a new one. Then they have well-equipped lecture halls and breakout rooms. So the learning environment is just world-class. Now, I had my PhD in Manchester, and I can tell you for a fact that there is no difference. The feeling I had when I was in the UK is the feeling I had when I sat in classrooms here. So I can tell you that these guys are not here to joke. They mean it when they say they want to build the MIT of Africa. The next is TED Lab. Now, what's TED Lab? It's Technology Entrepreneurship Design Lab. Now, this is like a startup lab where they divide the scholars into groups based on their interests, and then each group is to come up with a solution to a problem they have identified in society. And then they use that to start building a startup. And I can tell you that as I speak to you, the 60 of us in the current cohort, we have these 12 startups that you are going to be hearing from very soon. First is Wadi, which is exactly the platform that brought this to you. Wadi is actually an online platform that hopes to connect African researchers to the resources that they need. Resources like equipment, information, support system, even funding. Now, why the Wadi team had to do this is that they're trying to connect you guys, professionals, to information. And that's why we're bringing this to you. So it's one of the startups that are being, should I say, developed in NUTM under the TED Lab scheme. We also have 11 others: Samis, Fuda Hub, Smart Farm, Easy Gigs, Zandcraft, Go Buy Books, Verify Prop, Medlivon, Thumbs Up, Inconergy, Fairtech. You can see that from their names, you can even tell what they are going to be doing. Like the Go Buy Books, you already know it has to do with education and selling books online. Smart Farm, you can already see farm, so that has to do with drugs, selling drugs online. I mean medical drugs, not drugs, medical, just in case your mind is going elsewhere. Fuda Hub, you can see, has to do with agriculture. Samis has to do with the aerospace industry. Easy Gigs, you know, people who are into freelance jobs and all of that, Easy Gigs. Zandcraft, they're looking to utilize shoe waste. Shoe waste. Who has ever thought about that? Yeah, so there are innovative stuffs here. So you can see that this is indeed a hub of innovative ideas. Now, let's now go to Shadow a Leader. Now, SAL, it's like an internship, but it's not, in the sense that you will be attached to a company. However, what you do there is that you shadow the leader of the company, either the CEO, the MD, or a top officer of that company. And look at the area of companies that they have. You know, the NUTM have been able to establish partnerships with these companies like UAC, McKinsey, First EMP, even the Lagos State Ministry of Education, Landmark, you know, and all of the others you can see on that list, Airtel, ACA, KPMG. And I myself, I was fortunate to be at First EMP, an oil and gas company where I shadowed the MD. It was a fantastic experience. So imagine shadowing someone that under normal circumstances, it would have been so impossible for you to meet. But under the NUTM program and under the Shadow a Leader course, this is something you have access to. Going forward, if you are able to utilize the relationship well, that's a lifelong relationship for you, forever and ever, to your advantage, for you to use as you please, as you wish. We also have guest sessions. Now, the beauty of these guest sessions is the fact that they bring in successful professionals who have been there, done that, to come into our midst, explain principles they use to move their companies from 0 to 1,000. And hopefully we'll be able to learn 1 or 2 skills from them and apply for some of us who intend to build a company as well. Even if you don't intend to build a company, these are skill sets that can be useful as a C-suite executive in the future. These are skills that will be useful. So they have brought in amazing individuals like Shola Akinlade of Paystack, Aboyeji of Andela, Itop Ikwe of AutoCheck, and our very own Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. We're so privileged to have these people and many more. This is just a few from the list of amazing individuals that we've been privileged to meet in person and to associate with, learn from them how they're able to grow their companies. And the last here is leverage. I added this because there is a subtle benefit here that is away from the curriculum, the network that you earn here. And there is already a growing belief out there, despite how young NUTM is, there's already a growing belief out there that the scholars from NUTM are amazing. They are doing so well. Now, I will prove that to you now. This next slide is a picture of Peter Kisada, and he's from Future Africa. I think he's one of the investors of Future Africa. He tweeted on the 2nd of May, 2022, this same month. And what did he say? He said, if you are hiring entry-level talent in Nigeria, I greatly recommend looking at NUTM Nigeria alumni. We've hired 2 people from there, and they are extremely good. Please look at that adjective. He didn't say that they are good. He said they are extremely good. He now puts flames again, or them be goats. The ultimate goats. I'm serious. They hired 2. And this is not a paid ad, I'm sure. He just looked at those 2 guys and were like, oh my good God, these guys are so good. They're amazing. And he was forced to make something like this. So this is to show that indeed you can, you can leverage on that network, the belief already that they have about NUTM, and that will be opening doors for you. I tell you, because as it has opened doors for the previous set, we know that it's going to do the same for our set. And if you apply, it's going to do the same for you when you are done next year. Okay, so this is just to show some of the artworks of NUTM from the first set. Don't forget that I mentioned the TED Lab, that, okay, it's a way for us to incubate some startups, you know, until they get out there to Nigerian market. I am showcasing 2 startups here, SurePay and My Stash, because they were the top 2 startups from the first set of 2020 to 2021. And they are doing amazingly well now. I'm sure you probably have seen them somewhere. So you have SurePay and My Stash, and they are the 2 startups developed from NUTM under the TED Lab scheme, and they are solving financial problems now in the country. Hopefully this year, we now have other solutions from other sectors that will be coming on board, hopefully. Hopefully, Wadi, I'm a member of the Wadi startup. Wadi would probably make top 2 this year, or even beat them all. Yeah, beat them all. Okay, so let me run you through some KPIs in the last 1 year. Now, I can't talk about my set because we are not done. We have to be done, then go on to do stuff, then you can look back to assess what we've done. So this KPI is based on the first set that came in. We are part of the second set. So from the first set, there were 57 of them from UK, US, Ghana, Rwanda, Nigeria, and many more countries. Now, when they completed the program, they earned an average annual salary of 6.52 million. That's a lot in Nigeria, in various economy. And you know what that means? Prior to joining the NSP and then leaving and getting jobs, they changed jobs and there is an increase of 230% in the salary they now earn. So that means that NUTM played the crucial role in that career trajectory and even increase in profit and salary that they eventually got. So I can assure you that this is not a program that you are going to regret at all, because the evidence is just everywhere. It's there. Of the 57, 29 are currently employed. 14 are already entrepreneurs. Yeah, they are driving their own businesses. 10 have furthered their education for masters and PhD and MBAs as well. The remaining 4 are actually interning. So I can tell you that all 57 of them are engaged and doing well. So that's amazing. That's amazing. What it means is that the program empowers you, arms you with the necessary skill sets that makes you really attractive for anything you want to do next with your life. So let's quickly run through the online application form. Haven't talked about why NUTM. Now let's look at application. So the online application form is divided into 7 sections. Section 1 is personal information. It's focused on your biodata, information about your parents. Section 2 is employment details. They just want to know whether you're employed or you're not. And it also includes your NYSC information. It is advisable for you to serve. It's advisable. Education and work experience. So here they talk about the degrees you've obtained and the certificate, and then you have to upload the certificate and transcript. You can't move to the next page until you upload at least a transcript. Now, if you don't have your transcript yet, you can still, in the meantime, upload the final year. A statement of result of your final year will do for now. Before you complete all interviews, it's important that you get the transcript. So please take note that you need to upload your transcript and certificate. Section 4 focuses on essays and documents. Here there are 3 essays and you have to upload a 2-page resume or CV. Don't worry, we'll talk about the essays later. Section 5 focuses on awards and honors. Here, you have to list all relevant achievements that you've had that you know will help your application. Section 6 is on reference letters. Many people don't pay attention to references, and this is sad. Please, it is a crucial part of the application process. Who you choose as your referee, whether the person knows you well enough to write very good stuff about you, and most importantly here, they want a referee that has got an official email address. They are no longer going to take personal email addresses. For example, a Babajide Macaulay at gmail.com might not fly anymore. They prefer, if I work, okay, not if, I actually work at FUTA. Before FUTA says, well, are you not still our staff? Well, I'm still working at FUTA. Let me put the disclaimer. I'm still a staff of FUTA. Okay, so as a staff of FUTA, that means I can use my official email, bmmacaulay@futa.edu.ng. So that's what they mean by an official email address. It's very important that you take note of this. The 7th section is additional information. And here you have to write a biography. Yeah, about you, on yourself. It's a biography, 100-word biography. the tip I'll give you on how to do that is make sure it's something that is not in your CV, something that is not in your application, something that they can't Google about you. So it's something personal, new, and interesting. And they'll go, wow, that's interesting. Exactly. I won't tell you what I wrote about mine though, but I'm just giving you tips. If it's something that they can easily spot from your CV, then it's no longer interesting. You want something very interesting. It's not in your CV. They can't Google and see it. And it's not in your application here at all. It's only found the moment they get to the biography section. So, and it must be something that will make them go, aha, or wow. So think about it carefully before you type the 100 words. It's also a section that focuses on medical fitness. They want to know how fit you are mentally, physically for the program, and how you heard about the program. Please help our Wadi career. Help our Wadi career. Tell them you heard about the program from Wadi. So how to go about it is to scroll down, pick others, and when a box opens, just type Wadi. They'll understand because now them born the Wadi. So they'll understand. Okay. So yeah, let's go to the essays. Now, the question, so let's go to question 1. Discuss the factors that leads you to choose the NUTM Scholars Programme, NSP, as a means of furthering your personal and professional or entrepreneurial goals. Please be as specific as possible in describing how the NSP will help you to accomplish these goals. And you have 400 words to write this. You can see not many words. They want you to go straight to the point. Don't forget, what is important here is the last line. Be as specific as possible in describing how the NSP will help you to accomplish these goals. So what is the thing? The factors that prompted you to apply. So there must be something that you are trying to fix or a gap you are trying to cover. This is where to state it clearly. Don't be ambiguous. It has to be so clear. You can see, be specific. And then it must show that that gap that you are trying to cover, the curriculum actually accommodates the courses that will help you cover the gap, because that will now show the attraction to the NSP. So this is something that should be easy to do once you know exactly why you're coming into the program and the skill sets you're trying to gain. Let's go to the other essay. NUTM's values are excellence, integrity, collaboration, innovation, and sustainability. Tell us how and when you have embodied one or more of these values to effect positive change. Be very careful with this question because there are some key things. They've told you that they have 5 values, right? You don't need to write about all 5. It's been stated, you can talk about one or more. So if you look at all 5 and you can tell a story around one, that is absolutely fine. Tell the story about one. It's 250 words. There is no space. So I can assure you, if you are the type that you want to speak about all 5, you are not going to succeed because there is no space, 250 words. So think. So what you're supposed to do is to prioritize which one actually reflects my profile the most, my experience the most. If it's excellence, then focus more on that and utilize your 250 words talking about that. If it is integrity, focus, describe a situation. If it is collaboration, show how you network with people to achieve a goal. If it's innovation, show how you brought change to a system. If it's sustainability, show how you've been able to reduce wastage or something in an organization. So you must know exactly where you fall. And my personal view is don't bite more than you can chew because you have 250 words. If I were you, I'll pick one and I'll elaborate. And when I'm elaborating, I'll focus on 2 things. How and when. It's stated there. So I'll focus on how I did it and when I did it. Please take notes. This is how to dissect questions when you are writing scholarship essays. I know this for a fact because I've won a lot of scholarships in my lifetime, and this is how I dissect them before I start writing at all. I make a decision about what I want to say. Okay, I'll talk about this story, I'll talk about this one, I'll talk about that one before I start typing. Now let's go to essay 3. Essay 3 starts with a question first, because for this year, applicants will be divided into 3 categories. Category 1 are those that will get full funding. Category 2 are those that will get partial funding. And category 3 are those that will pay in full, self-funded. Now, the good news I have for you is that those that will pay in full, the 4.8 million naira, which I think is about $8,000, are very few. Those that will get full scholarship are also very few. Most people will be in the middle. They are going to get different categories of discounts. So you'll be getting scholarships in different percentages. Some will get 10%, some will get 40%, some will get 80%, some will get 50%. It all depends on 1, the strength of your application as they go through your application, and 2, financial need. And that is why this question here is very important, because this is where you have to show financial need. So if you click on that box, you see a drop down that says, no, I don't need support. That means you can pay for it. Yes, I need support. And there's another, I need support, but partial. So it is good that you stay where you are financially, capable. And then if you choose, yes, I need support, full funding, then you are supposed, or partial, then you are supposed to use the next box to justify that answer. And the question says, please tell us why you deserve your requested scholarship towards the NUTM Scholars Programme. Include how you plan to maximize the investment for yourself and NUTM. So here, 500 words you discover is the highest so far, right? So you can see this is the most important thing that they really want to see. Do you really need assistance? If the answer is yes, then you should justify, okay. If the answer is yes, then you should justify your answer by 1, and how to go. Our advice is do not lie, because you'll be found out. You'll be found out if you lie. The reason is that there are many questions already asked in your application. So it will not add up when they are saying stuff here and it's not adding up with some other things you've mentioned in your application. It won't add up. So it's better to tell the truth. Now, when you are telling the truth and you indeed need support, it is good that you come out plainly. Mention how much you earn annually. Mention where you work and how much you earn. Make it very open so that they know. When they know where you work and how much you earn, then they know clearly. Mention, if you are the type that you are still partially dependent on your parents, mention how much your parents collectively earn annually. So that when they do the math, they will see that it not even reach half of the cost of the scholarship that has already been subsidized. So they would understand you need financial support. So that's how to go. Explain in details how much you earn, where you work, how much you earn, and the fact that you will not be able to come up with this entire sum of money. Not only that, there's an extra part. Explain how you intend to maximize this investment on your head. I remember that when I got Commonwealth, this is a question that is standard. They will tell you, you want full funding for your PhD. Do you know it's a lot of money? Because that's about 90,000 pounds spent on one person's head. On one head, 90,000 pounds. If you do the math, it's running into, I don't know what it is now. What's that? ATM in Naira? Please, who will give me such a money? Who will give me such amounts? But the Commonwealth actually, erased all of that for me to gain my PhD. But it wasn't automatic. I had to convince them. It's the same thing here. They're not just going to give you because you are a first class or you are a high flyer. You must be able to also show that you don't have the money. You must be able to convince them that you don't also have the money, which I did. I was able to show I don't have 80 million naira. I don't. And eventually, I was fortunate that I got in. Same applies here. Any scholarship sponsor, we always ask that question. It's standard. And they expect that you justify your claim. So that's up to you to write. It's 500 words, so utilize it effectively. Lastly here, penultimately, I would say, is your resume or CV, 2 pages. Please ensure that you rework your CV very well. If your CV is not properly done, give it to a professional or give it to a friend that you know is good. Because if you upload a CV that is terrible, you probably not get called for interview. Yeah. So please take note that you rework your CV and it looks good enough. And don't forget, 2 pages is 2 pages, not 2.5, not 3. The first step to winning a scholarship is following simple instructions. Lastly is self-introduction video. Now, I did this video and I will advise, it's not compulsory, but it's important. I will advise that you do it as well. 2 minutes, you can do it with your phone. I did mine with my phone. I stood in my room, I did it with my phone. It's 2 minutes maximum. Talk about why do you think you are a good fit for the program? Mention what you do first. I am so, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm a good fit for this program because blah, 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 blah. It will help me, and don't forget, you will talk about the future you see and the fact that there is a gap, but the program will help you close that gap. Once you're able to paint all of that in the video, bingo, you're good to go. So that's it. Let's see what's next here. Oh, we're done so quickly. I was enjoying the session. All right. Thanks for listening. And this is the part where I would like to take your questions. But before then, please follow us on our social media platforms. Facebook is Wadi Africa, Twitter, Wadi Africa, Instagram, even on LinkedIn, we are also on LinkedIn, Wadi Africa. Just as I said, Wadi is one of the startups here being built by NUTM under the TED Lab scheme. And what we are trying to do here at Wadi is to connect African researchers to the resources and opportunities that they need so that they can thrive. Because the truth is that despite the fact that the continent is the second largest in the world, we only contribute 1% to global research, very poor. And as we know, there is no development without science and tech, and that's research. And that's why we're trying to find out what the problem is, what the challenges are with researchers, and attempt to provide the resources that they need so that we can thrive as a continent. As I said, the resources include equipment, support structure, information, and even funding. We connect them to funding when we find them. So please follow us and register on our platform, be a member of the Wadi Forum, and let's make this happen. So I will stop sharing now and then I can take your questions. Thank you. So how do we go about the questions? The Wadi team, please. Will you lead this session? Help us out.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Shei.
All right,
good evening, everyone. Okay, so Babajide, you can just go ahead and pick
people based on their hands. So you can just raise your hand when you have a question, and our facilitator, who has very gratefully explained what the program is about, will take your questions. Thank you so much, Doc, for this session. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, please just raise your hands and we'll take it in order.
I think it's best that they raise their hand so that I just call them one after the other. Please raise your hand. Use the raise hand icon at the bottom panel of your screen so that I just call you out and then you just speak. But if you feel that you're shy, you don't want to talk, then please type in your questions or copy it again and retype, because it will be so difficult for me to go through the entire thing. So can you copy and repaste up? Yes, you paste it again so that I can see. So we start with Ishola Precious. Please, you have the floor.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much, Babajide, for the session. It was very, very informative. Thank you. Yeah, so I want to ask, so in the application process and in the criteria and everything, which one do you think is the, should I say, highest judging criteria now? Is it more of your academic excellence while you were in school, or the experiences and, let's say, achievements that you've had over the years? Which one do you think they consider the most? Is it academic excellence, or more of what have you done? What do you know? What awards have you received? What can you do? What experiences have you done? What business have you started, and all of that? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Precious. The truth is, it's holistic. It's everything. They look at everything. It's not just one thing. As a matter of fact, permit me to say this. There are scholars here who made 2-2, and they are here. So it's not a function of you're a first class, it's excellence. No, there will be something else about you. Yes, the CGPA might be low, but perhaps you are fantastic. You are a problem solver, and you've demonstrated it. You have an NGO. You are empathetic. You have fixed some problems in society. They will be attracted to you. So it's everything. It's holistic. It's not just, so we have a good blend here. It's not just one thing. So I would say, if you are sure of the fact that you're a type of candidate that NUTM wants, then try. But if you don't try, you never know. Habib.
All right.
Okay. Habib, you are next. After that, I'll come to one question here in the comment section.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for a wonderful session and very eye-opening experience. My question goes during your presentation, you mentioned something about they are now accepting reference letter from unofficial emails. Yeah. Okay, so I work in a construction company, but I'm at the entry level, so I'm still using my personal email for all communication within the company. But the boss that I work directly under uses an official email attached to the company's website, sort of, and he has there is another email dedicated to the departments in which we put working. So would that suffice?
Of course, absolutely. The email is not for you. It's not you. You can apply with your personal email. That's fine. It's the referee, and we expect that when you bring in such top professional, come on, they should in this day and age, it's 2022, they should have an official. I have official emails across different organizations that I've worked. So I can tell you that, yes, it shouldn't be a problem. So that boss of yours that you mentioned is a fantastic candidate to be a referee. So yes, please.
All right, cool, thank you very much. So second question.
You want to take two? Okay, all right, let's go.
So for sorry, it's very brief. Second question is, I'm currently enrolled in the master's program, though I'm supposed to be done by March, but unfortunately the strike started. So I believe if the strike is called off, I can be done with my program within a month or two. Hope it won't hamper my application. Thank you.
Okay, the question I'll ask is this. If the program is run in Lagos, maybe at Unilag, then it's probably something you can deal with. You'll be able to survive the extra 2 months that you have to wrap up. If it's outside of Lagos, you should think about it because it might become problematic. So Habib, think about it. If you are running the program in Unilag here, it might be easier for you because you can dash down, try to bridge everything together, wrap up in 2 months, because this program is 10 months. So that can work. But if it's outside, so you have to travel.
Yeah, that's for one or two reasons.
So you have to think about it because this is a residential program. You have to be here, fully resident, participatory, and it is highly demanding. Personally, I had to request for study leave from my school so that I can be here because there was no way on earth that I could just be doing both. Run to Futa, come back here. How? How is it possible? I had to request for study leave and thank goodness it was approved. So that's the way I was able to make it here. So please, I don't know, but you have to think about it well. So before I go to Sheyi, though, permit me, please, Sheyi, let me take some questions here from the comments because they are all dropping it like it's hot. So Zion is saying, I have a question, sir. Since it's not a degree, what will be awarded at the end of, is it going to be a postgraduate certificate? Okay, so good question. Now, I'll tell you what exactly happened. First set, they were told on the website that it's going to be a postgraduate certificate. Few months to graduating, that option became updated to postgraduate diploma. So they got a postgraduate diploma, a PGD, and that's exactly what we are going to get. So what you are going to get is a PGD, but it's not a full degree program like your bachelor's, master's, PhD. They have not been able to do that yet. It takes a lot for you to be able to do that. You have to build full-blown school, get approval from the NUC, and put certain things in check. And because I know these guys are top professionals, they are not willing to rush anything. They are taking it one step at a time so that when it's time to go full-blown, they will put all necessary, including the research labs, everything, all the resources needed to operate full degrees will have to be on ground before they start offering such. So what you are going to get is a PGD. Let me quickly take another. Okay, thank you, Amin. Let me see. Okay, so Victor Awugo says, Macaulay, I'm a final year undergraduate student in Futa. Oh, Futarian, greatest Gagba. Okay, can I still apply since it's a program that requires my presence at the NUTM when giving the scholarship and also, oh my God, this is going to be difficult because if you say you're a final year student, I don't think you can because it's for graduates. It's for graduates and you're not done. And there's ASU strike. You don't even know when it will be called off. So, and once it's called off, you need to return to school to complete your final year. And I'm sure that you're not even done with the first semester. You're not done. So you still have a second semester and a project to complete. So I would say you should relax, relax. Why not finish that phase first? Then you can jump on this. But it's going to be really, really difficult because you are not done. And unfortunately, the way things are, it's not advisable that you apply. Let me see. Alice, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Miriam, thank you very much for the dedicated session. My question is one's grade a determining factor? No, it's holistic. They look at everything, your entire profile. That's what they look at. So before I continue the comments, let me take Sheyi though. So Sheyi, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the session. It has been a great time being at this particular time. Actually, a lot of my questions have been answered, but I just want to add this to it. Sometimes we always have this age requirement or age limit. I want to know, is that one, or do they have any specific maybe age limit presently now? Thank you.
Very good question. Actually, the limit is 35. But let me shock you. At the time I applied last year, the limit was 32. And I was 35. And I still applied. And I was interviewed. They looked at my record, looked at everything, felt that I was going to be a good candidate to be on the program. And here I am on the program, 2 months to wrap up. So what am I trying to say? Don't let that bother you. You would notice that when you start the application, it allows you put in your age. That's how you would know that they are not so strict about it. They are still going to look at it on a case-to-case basis. They are still going to assess you to be really sure whether they should give you a chance. So the ball is in your court. Don't let that discourage you at all. I had gone past the age limit by 3 years and I was still picked. So that should encourage you to apply. Who else? Let's do Emmanuel Idoko now. Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you have the floor. Okay, while we wait for Emmanuel, let me take some other questions here. So, okay, some of them are repeating the questions. Anyway, that is good. Let me just keep going. Okay, please, can I get a link to the recording after the program? Sorry, I came late. Well, don't worry. We are going to share an information to your emails after now, perhaps with a direct link to the video, which we intend to host permanently on the Wadi forum, which is why you should sign in. Well, you must have signed up. That's why you are here. So definitely, you'll get access to it because it's recorded. So don't worry, you will get access. For free, of course, for free. Ayomide says, thank you so much for this insightful session. Please, I'm currently undergoing my NYSC program. Can I still apply? And won't it affect my chances? Well, Ayomide, it depends on where you are currently. Don't forget that the program kicks off in September. So on your NYSC, when are you supposed to finish? So if you are going to finish before September, oh, of course, please apply. But if you're going to finish next year, then think about it because that might not be possible to do because you have your NYSC to do. You'll be running Kitikata, according to, what is his name? This guy that sang okay, let us leave that alone. But then I don't want you to be running Kitikata, please, because that will now be very difficult. But if you know you are going to finish by or before September, then please, by all means, go ahead. Let me take one more before I come to Oluwatosin. Before I come to Oluwatosin, let me take another. Olajide Tobiloba says, is this opportunity for medical researcher? It's for everyone. It's for everyone. It's fine. It's for everyone. Now, I need you to visit the NUTM website, www.nutmng.org. Once you visit that website, go through everything. Is this a program you think you need? Once you can answer that, then you know whether you should apply or not. So please do that. But it's open to everyone, please. thanks for this insight. The application is requiring application number. No, there is no application fee. There's no application fee, please. There is no application fee. So you are free to apply. As a matter of fact, I tested the platform before I came here. I had to test a dummy application from beginning to the end before I came here so that I won't come here and blab. So I can assure you that nothing stopped me. I didn't see any application fee. So please go ahead and apply. There is no application fee. Eunice, Futarians are plenty here. Oh, they have to. You know, there's something about Futa. They pursue scholarship like they're pursuing their shadow. So they should. Let me see. Will this recording be shared? Yes, it will. Don't worry, it will. Okay, so let's have Tosin Olorunfemi. You have the floor.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thanks for the insightful word. I wanted to ask the same question the other person asked about NYC because I'm currently undergoing my NYC training and I'll be done by July.
Fantastic.
So I wanted to ask if I can apply. Okay.
Yes, you can apply because you'll be done before you resume. So you'll be done. Fine. Apply. Do you have all your documents with you? Certificate?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes,
apply, please.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Michael Ehimowo. Please, you have the floor. Michael.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful, informative session you have set up. My own question is concerned with the idea that is being shared during the program itself. You know, we are going to work on an idea to solve a problem.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I want to know, is there anything? Is the idea will it be ascribed to the person who has brought it up, or is the institute trying to support, or they are trying to how will I put this now? Are they trying to support the idea, support the person in bringing the idea into fruition? Is that what they are trying to do?
Yeah, so I think I get your question. Is it that they are going to fertilize your idea, or they are just going to give you one idea? Is that what you are trying to say?
I'm trying to say that, is it that whatever solution you bring up to a particular problem and you build a startup from it, will it still carry the person's like being intellectually yours?
I get your question. Absolutely. Yes, it's your idea. Nobody is going to steal it from you. It's your idea. They are just happy to be the ones to help you incubate and send you out. That's why when I showed Sure Pay and My Stash, those two, they're already out there. Did you see that I put the pictures of the original owners of the ideas? They're the ones who own the ideas. They are scholars from here. So you can see NUTM is not even associated with it at all. They just take you, form you, and put you out there. And then they are proud of the fact that they did it. Because that's one of the KPIs that they're going to have. That, look, they are building change makers for Africa's future. That's it. But your idea is your idea. No one is going to. The Wadi thing was the idea of myself and the four of us on our team. We are 5. We came up with the plan. We knew that there was a concern in the research space in Africa, and we came up with a plan to solve it. And NUTM has been so gracious to give us the support that we need to make that happen. So yeah.
All right, can I ask one more question?
Yes, please.
During your own application, did you include the idea you actually incubated there in your application, or you had a different idea that you brought in, but during your sessions you got to brainstorm and come up with something different?
Okay, so that's a very good question. When I was writing my application, I talked about a different idea from what I'm currently now working on. So nothing is cast in stone. You can always change. You can always restructure, drop an idea and pick another one. If you feel like the other one is going to be more impactful than the first one that you wrote in your application, that's not a problem. Nothing is cast in stone. So once you get here, it will be crystal clear where you want to be. So it's not going to be a problem at all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. By the way, we are going to close this at 6:15. So we are going to be really quick with the other questions now. Let me just take one more question from here. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is from Paul Abbey. Thanks so much. My most available and accessible referee does not have an official email. However, it's her well-known email in all our. Well, I don't know. You need to have official email, Alice. You need to have. Sorry, Paul. You need to have. Your referee needs to have an official email. Let me see. So Mohammed is saying, thank you for the insightful session. I'm currently serving. While filling the form, it doesn't allow one select an end day further than the current month. What would you advise? Okay, choose the month that it enables you to pick. Don't worry about that. The most important thing here is, are you going to finish your NYSC before September? If the answer is yes, then you are good to go. I mean, is this opportunity? Yes, it is. It is open. I've answered you already, Olajide. Let me see. We are grateful for the opportunity. Yeah. Must it be compulsory that the idea be related to our discipline? Well, think about it. If you are talking about an idea that you don't have good experience of, they'll be wondering how you'll be competent, to go through with it. So it should be an idea that you've been working on, or an idea that you have some core skills already that will help you achieve. You can't just think of something poof from your head. It will make them feel, is this going to work? It's not going to work. So think about it. It has to be an idea that you already know something about. Let me see. I want to take one more before I come to the guys here. So Engineer Cyril says, thank you, sir, for this wonderful presentation. Please, wanted to know if they accepted international students, because I am hearing about, yes, they do accept international students. Yes, as I said, yes, NYSC, but look, I don't think it is at the core of the selection decision, but yes, they take international students. If you notice, I told you that the 57 from the previous year, from UK, US, even from our set, we have people from UK, US, Rwanda, Ghana. So they do pick, yes. Okay, that will be all I'm going to take from the questions here, because we need to end. So quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these 4 hands raised, quickly, let's hear you so that we can wrap up. So Okose Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you very much for this session. I have 2 questions actually. The first one is.
You made that one. We don't have time. Okay.
Okay. The first question is, in the interview and assessment phase, the question that are going to be asked, is it this quantitative and verbal reasoning, technical kind of question? And the second question is, if one is successfully collected into the program now, and is now living inside the residence given to them, how, the person is not expected to work or do any internship. So how would the person encounter things like soap, lotion, perfume, all this kind of. Thank you very much.
Very, very good question. So let me answer the first one. The first one, the way the application is set up is that first you fill up your online application, you submit. If they like your essays and your entire application, they will call you to the next stage. You'll be invited to the next stage. The next stage entails an online assessment. It's like an aptitude test, but you take it online from your system. And it is an aptitude test, standard aptitude test. That's what it is. You need to finish it within, I think, 2 hours, 30 minutes or so. If you survive that part, you move to stage 3, which is a telephonic interview. A telephonic interview. You receive a phone call from one of the NUTM staff, and they'll just want to have a feel why you applied. What's the motivation? What's the attraction? After that, if they're satisfied, then you move to the final stage, which is the 4th stage. And this final stage is now a panel interview with a member of the management board. As far as I know, that's probably the most important one. You'll be asked critical questions from your application. Most of them will come from what you wrote about yourself. And so they start trying to confirm some things from you. And if you're satisfied, a month after that, you probably get a positive email. We are pleased to inform you that you've won. Not breakfast. They will not serve you breakfast. You know? So that's the process. The second question, yes, it's residential, fully residential. You're not allowed to work. They expect that at least you should have some support system if you are going to do this. Your cream, your soap, oh, come on, you should be able to sort that out. They've sorted out some very, very key, you know, part of the entire thing. E.g., where you are sleeping. Have you thought about accommodation? And do you know where you are going to be living? Landmark village, where you have the landmark beach. You are living near the beach. You know, do you know how much it costs to sustain such a facility for 10 months? That's a lot of money. It has power, internet, non-stop. There's also washing machine. Yes, I didn't even think about that. So you just have to buy your soap to put inside and throw your dress inside. Oh, come on. Even scholarships in the UK, Commonwealth, there are certain parts that you still need to pay for. A good example is Commonwealth. Look, when you get to the UK, yes, they're going to get you an arrival allowance. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't set up your account quickly, that arrival allowance will run out and you will start using your personal money to survive until you finish setting up your account details, your bank account details, before they now put in the first chunk of your money. So how are you going to survive? In fact, as a matter of fact, you will go there with some money to quickly also pay for your rent, because you need to have a place to stay before that first chunk is paid. How are you going to? So that means you can't go, oh, I'm not paying anything. No, you will have certain things that you need to still have to pay for anywhere. So this also applies here. There are certain things you still have to pay for. And they've sorted out your feeding as well. But I can assure you, the cost that you need to cover is so little. If you're not the type that needs to be going up and down, because you really don't need to go up and down. So the cost you need to cover is little. So let's take the last two people now. Ebuka and...
Okay. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for your expository discussion so far. So I just have basically two questions, very quick ones. First of all, I applied last year, but then I was still a youth corps, and it was around, I think by this time or earlier than this. So I know one of the reasons why I couldn't get it was I didn't finish my service by then. I finished by December. So I'm applying again. What do you think? Because I know there is a question attached where it's being said, have you applied before? Does that say anything negative about the applicant who is coming for a second time? That's the first one. Then the second one is this, for someone who has an interest in environmental engineering, what do you think about the NSP or NUTM with regards to environmental engineering and pollution, environmental pollution and so on? must the activities we engage in be building apps, or so on? Like, I want to get more details on that. Thank you.
So for the first one, please, by all means, apply. It's not a barrier at all. In fact, they are asking whether you've applied before so that they can pay extra attention to your application, because it's also a sign of continued interest. So it's good. Now, some applications always ask this question because they want to give preference or priority to people that have been trying and trying, so that they can just pay a second attention to you and probably compensate you if you are good. Now, they will never undermine their standard, but if you are good, they will think that they should pay attention. A good example of such an application is the Mandela Washington Fellowship. They will always ask you if this is your first time or not. And if you check, most people that have won that stuff, they've done it multiple times. Only a handful got it at first attempt. So please go ahead and apply. It's not a problem at all. Your second question is about the fact that if you have a background in environmental engineering, must the startup reflect the question, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, no, it doesn't have to reflect that. However, there needs to be something you're passionate about, right? So when you come in here and you see that when the startups are being developed, you find a startup that resonates with what you have a passion for, then that automatically will be a connection. Oh, let me join. And that's how you join. The members of Wadi initially did not plan to do this when they came in. But when Wadi was pitched and it struck a chord in them, they were like, oh my God, I like this. I want to be part of this because I'm passionate about research. And that's how they joined. So please, again, nothing is cast in stone. Things evolve. Always be dynamic. Last question so that we can go. And that is from Ekpe Siri. Did I get that correctly? Ekpe Siri. Correct?
Sorry, no, it's Akpe Siri.
Oh, Ekpe Siri. Okay, thank you. I apologize.
Good evening. Thank you for this session.
Welcome.
I just want to express my concern. Okay, I joined the Ask Me Anything session with the NUTM team yesterday, I think 2 days ago. Okay. So my concern and what I've seen is that is a residential program, meaning they are not diversified, or was this DEI that is mantra that is going on? Because for someone who is a parent, so many of the person cannot or cannot be absorbed into the program because of the fully residential clause. So since you are part of the program and you have a voice, maybe this can be aired to the management and top executive and all like that. They should be more DEI inclined before people that fit this profile, but they are engaged in terms of responsibilities and all that, but we want to still partake in something like this. So if they can maybe have a section, or there's a way that they can do these things, okay, instead of just making it fully residential, where it's only maybe youth corpers, people without, in quote, responsibilities and all that can participate in this program, which is actually a very good one that someone like me would want to, but because of this clause now, I will have to back out. I may have to even delete I've started already, but with this, I have to withdraw my application. So that's just my concern I needed to express. Thank you so much, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much for bringing this up. I am very sorry that you now have to back out. I know how disappointing that will feel. I really apologize that has happened. Now, you said something that is very important, and I promise you that I'm going to relay this with the necessary authorities. However, I can understand why it's going to be difficult to make it non-residential. It is so, how do I explain this? Now, because I've been through it, I can understand why. It's so hands-on like that. You can't, you can't really survive if you are not in a place stable, just doing it daily, because it is extremely demanding. That's why they tried to provide you accommodation, provide you food. Immersive is the word. Thank you, Amanda. So that's why they provide you everything, so that you think about nothing else